When speaking of ancient civilizations in the Mediterranean region, one cannot avoid speaking of the history of a small but highly influential ethnic group in human history, especially in terms of its religious ideology, the Jewish people. Understanding the ancient Jewish people is also an important foundation for understanding the conflict in the Middle East in the present day. Although the ancient Jewish people lived near the coast in the Mediterranean region, they were not seafaring experts like other Mediterranean civilizations, such as the Greeks, Cretans, and Phoenicians. The early Jewish people were a people who lived a tribal lifestyle, similar to prehistoric humans, moving from one place to another between Egypt and Mesopotamia. The history of the Jewish people began over 3,000 years ago when they fled from slavery in Egypt and traveled through the desert toward the land of Canaan, which is in the area of modern-day Israel and Palestine. This story is recounted in detail in the Torah of the Jewish people and in the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. However, historians and archaeologists have not yet reached a consensus regarding this narrative. In the land of Canaan, the Jewish people, or Hebrews, took up agriculture, established a state, and built a sacred city, Jerusalem. To the south of where the Jewish people lived, there was another group who were their enemies, the Philistines. The Jewish city of Jerusalem was destroyed by the Babylonians in 588 BC, and all the Jewish people were exiled from their homeland to Babylon. It was only after the Persian Empire conquered Babylon that the Persian emperor allowed the Jewish people to return to their homeland. However, in 63 BC, the land of Israel, like most other lands in the region, came under the control of the Roman Empire. The Jewish people, unwilling to live under Roman rule, rose up and created a rebellion against the authority of the Roman colony. But this rebellion was crushed by Roman soldiers, the city of Jerusalem was destroyed, and all the Jewish people were once again expelled from their homeland. The entire land of Israel was renamed Palestine by the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire's act of renaming the land of Israel to Palestine was likely intended to punish the Jewish people, because the name Palestine is derived from Philistine, the people who lived to the south of Israel and were the long-standing enemies of the Jews. From the time they were expelled by the Roman Empire, the Jewish people were scattered, living in communities abroad, and were unable to return to their homeland to re-establish a nation for a long time. During that period of about 2,000 years, the land of Israel, which had been renamed Palestine, knew no independence, as it was controlled by a succession of great powers. For most of this time, it was under the rule of great powers that followed the Islamic faith. Finally, in the early 20th century, the land of Palestine came under the British Mandate. It was not until after World War II that Jewish communities from abroad began returning to their ancestral homeland. In 1947, after Great Britain decided to end its mandate over Palestine, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution to partition the land of Palestine into two independent states, one for the Arab people of Palestine and another for the Jewish people. This resolution to partition the land of Palestine was adopted by a two-thirds majority vote. However, all the Arab countries voted against it, opposing the creation of a state for the Jewish people, whom they considered foreigners living in the land of Palestine. This was because, at that time, the Jewish population in the entire land of Palestine was only 37%. The rest were Arab Palestinians. In contrast, the Jewish community celebrated the decision to partition the land of Palestine. In May 1948, the Jews in Palestine officially declared the establishment of an independent state, naming it the State of Israel. One day after Israel declared its independence, armies from surrounding Arab countries, including Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Iraq, and Egypt, along with armed forces of the Palestinian Arabs, launched an attack on the newly formed State of Israel. This war is known as the War of Independence, and it was one of four major wars between Israel and the Arab nations. Despite having fewer troops than their enemies, Israel consistently defeated the Arab countries in all of these wars, and each time Israel won a war, it captured a portion of its enemy's territory. From that point on, it was Israel's turn to reject all resolutions proposed by the United Nations, which has caused the conflict in the Middle East to drag on to this day. Before the time of the Jews, all religions throughout the world were polytheistic, with many different gods. Humanity worshipped the sun, the moon, the stars, or the sea as gods, and they built statues representing these deities for worship. The Jewish people created a new religious ideology with the belief that there is only one God, the Lord who is the creator and has power over everything in the entire universe. The sun, moon, stars, and sea, which people had previously worshipped, were not gods. They taught that people must abandon the worship of idols and turn to worship the one true God. The creation of this new religion was a significant turning point in the evolution of human thought. According to this new belief, nature is no longer divine as was previously believed. Nature is something that God created and placed under human authority. Time is not a cyclical cycle of reincarnation like a spinning wheel, birth, aging, sickness, death, and rebirth, as was previously believed. For the Jewish people, time moves ever forward and can never go back. In the future, things can get better if people strive and work hard. Therefore, humans should not passively wait for fate, nor should they rely on the concept of karma, viewing injustice in society as the result of past actions. Humans must know how to struggle and rise up against injustice. They must not silently endure oppression, considering it the karmic result of their actions in a past life. It was because of this mindset that the Jewish people, a small nation, dared to rise up and protest against the oppression of the Roman Empire. This rebellion led to the Jewish people being expelled from their homeland by the Roman Empire to live scattered without a country of their own for thousands of years. But this mindset has influenced many people up to the present day, especially the people of Western countries whose beliefs and cultures are shaped by Jewish or Christian traditions.